in the Carolinas. It's Russ. It's Les. It's the Man Space Podcast. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl, and welcome once again to another edition of the Man Space Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, is Big Les.
What up, bro? What's happening with you?
What's going on, man?
Man, just trying to make it through these days, bro. Can't wait till the springtime.
Bro, I had to adjust so everybody can see the A in the background. We took care of Georgia. Last time about this time. Well, last time we played them, we won about this time of year, but they beat us in the national championship. But now we finally got our revenge. Alabama rolling through. My neighbor down the street got his little Georgia flag on his house.
Yeah.
I got my little Bama flags on my truck. I've been riding past them. I've been blasting Sweet Home Alabama every time I ride past his house.
You're a horrible neighbor. Just horrible. Horrible
I've been
neighbor.
killing it. Sweet Home Alabama has been blasting every single time I pass that dude's house, man.
Hey,
I love it.
But the ultimate thing is I would get some Alabama cupcakes and go take them, put them at his door, and ring his doorbell.
Nah, I'm a little too cheap for that.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, that's about as much as we can play without being fined. So let me stop. Let me stop. Okay.
Sweet Home Alabama. I know I'm coming home to you. I don't even know if them real words. I just know. Oh,
man,
that's hilarious.
I tell you, I don't know a single other song by Leonard Skinner, but I know that one.
Hey, well, so do a million other people.
Right.
Million plus other people. They know exactly old Skinner.
So, you know who we play in the first round of the playoffs?
That amazing goal.
Yes.
You play that upside down W. Huh? Y'all play Michigan. You know who I'm rooting for. You know who I'm rooting for. You ain't even got to. I ain't rooting for no damn. You a damn lie. I done told you. I don't know how many times I done told you.
No, you rooting for the A, dog.
No, dog. It's the big M. U of M. I can't do nothing but root for my team, dog. My home.
Right. I'm already getting texts from people talking about, oh, it's Bama versus Michigan. It's Bama versus Michigan. I'm like, okay. And I said, you're playing Alabama, right? Yeah. I said, well, good luck. He says, maybe it's you that needs the luck. I'm like, oh, really now? Is that how we doing this?
I ain't even going there with you. I'm just going to say, hell to the victors. Hell to the victors.
Mama Russ even had the nerve to say Georgia was going to beat us.
Oh.
Mama Russ. I was like, no, Mama Russ, no.
She went against it like that?
Oh, yeah. She said, I'll make a quarter bet with you.
A quarter bet?
Quarter bet. I called her after the game. She says, what's wrong, baby? I said, I want my quarter. What are you talking about? I want my quarter. That's it.
That's it. I want it mailed too. I want a brand new one. I want a brand new quarter from the bank.
That's right. You need to go get one.
Russ like that. You
need to go find one that's got the seal, the Alabama seal on the back of
it. Well, whichever way it goes, it was a great season between both teams.
Right? Spoken like a true loser.
No, that's not true. Because that's not what I was going to go there. I wasn't going to go. It was a good season for both teams, but unfortunately, we have to take that. So we're going to take that, and we're going to call it a day. You know, you want another quarter bet so you can get 50 cents.
Hey, dog, I'll be halfway to a pop. Let's go.
You heard it first right here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a quarter bet.
Quarter bet.
Getting out of the
game. That's right. Let's do it.
That's it. First game of the playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
But it's only 4 teams, number 1 and number 1 through 4, right?
Or 1 through 4.
1 through 4. So it's first versus last, second versus third.
Yep.
Good year to be a Cinderella team, baby.
Did you see the video of the Michigan players sitting there watching the selection show? Have you seen this video?
I have not, and I don't want to see it.
I'm gonna have to find it and edit it into this episode.
I don't want to see it. I don't want it. If ladies and gentlemen, if you see this video, that means he did it afterwards because he didn't do it right now. Who's number 4?
They were all scared. They scared, bro. They scared. Well, they sat there for a few minutes. Then they start, oh yeah, we being recorded. Then they start clapping like, okay. Yeah, nah. They were shocked.
You know why?
They nervous.
Because they don't want to pay a bunch of prison inmates.
They know that every time they played Bama, they done got whomped.
Yeah, but they don't want to play no 30-year-old freshman either.
Hey, we don't have that now. We don't have that. We don't have that no more.
20. Yeah, no more. Exactly.
We don't have that problem no more.
I mean, eligible players, y'all got 6 years of eligibility.
Hey, our players leave for the NFL, so none of ours are like that. Now,
okay.
They may have failed a couple of grades before they get there.
Yeah,
and be a little older, but they all right within their system.
That's Alabama's recruiting thing. Have you failed at least 2 grades?
That's right. That's right.
So you 20 getting into college as a freshman.
That's right. It's happened. I'm not gonna name any players, but it's happened. Y'all can look it up.
A whole bunch of.
It's not a whole bunch of them. It's not a whole bunch of them.
It's more than 5. It's a bunch of.
It's not a whole bunch of them, but y'all can look it up yourselves. I'm not gonna sit there and rap my players out, but I know it's happened.
That's all I had to say.
But you know, I listen to other podcasts from time to time, right?
Yeah.
And there was one I was listening to, and it's a pretty popular show. It's you know, I love the show Scrubs. I've talked about this several times. Scrubs is one of my favorite shows of all times. So the two main characters from the show, they have their own podcast called Fake Doctors, Real Friends, right?
Okay.
So I was listening to their podcast, and in one of the episodes, they were making fun of one of the guys because he says, "You know what I'm saying?" a lot.
You know,
and they said they decided to do a drinking game off of every time he said it, right?
You know what I'm saying? Drink. Yeah.
So I was sitting there, and I was going through our last episode, and I was like, Les says this a lot. I wonder if the Manspace Nation is playing drinking games off stuff
that I say. Well, I'm about to hurt all y'all feelings. I ain't saying it no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right?
Oh, man.
I guess, you use that word. You know what I'm saying? Just because, sometimes it's hard to find the words to articulate what you're trying to say.
That's true. That's true.
Look, I cut off what I'm saying. See that?
When I go back and I listen to the shows, because we've been doing this now for years, right? And I've talked about it. I do other shows as well, right? I do editing for other shows as well, right? So on the Empowerment Podcast Network, all the shows that come through there, I do a lot of producing on the back end of all of those shows as well too, right?
Right. This guy's busy.
So when I sit there and I listen to a lot of those things, certain things just set me off. And that's one that's just gotten on my nerves. I'm like,
so what you trying to say? So what are you trying to say at this point?
Man, I would be sloshed if I said that.
Well, I will make a effort not to say it any longer.
You know, and another one that gets me is I'm notorious for that one.
I was about to say I don't say that one as much.
You're not that bad with. I'm bad with it.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to a lot of other shows that are a lot worse than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But Mama Russ used to get me, and she would take a ruler, and when I'm sitting there talking to her, and if I said she would pop my hand.
Yep.
Because to me, and especially if you're doing information, if you're trying to give information,
it comes across so bad. You know.
Yes, absolutely.
It comes across so bad.
It makes you sound unsure of yourself.
Unsure, unprepared.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like I have to work on my triggers, and Man Space Nation, we're working to be better for you.
Your triggers.
Right. My triggers, we're trying to work to be a better show for all of you.
Basically, what you try to say is, since I'm trying to fix myself, you're going to fix yours too. That's what you just said.
Right. I'm glad you read between the lines.
Oh, no. Oh, well, thanks a lot for bringing that up. Now I know what button to push on you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You used to have that little bell thing you used to push all the time. What was that? I can't remember what it was. They used to get on my nerves. Used to push some bell.
I'll edit it in there. Don't worry. I don't have my soundboard up.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't have my soundboard because I'm sitting here. I'm on a brand new laptop, man, Space Nation. So I haven't put everything on.
When you first got that thing, boy, you was like a kid with
with
a brand new whistle. I mean, I was like, if you push that button one more time, I'm coming out and I'm gonna take it from you. Man. But it's all good though.
But don't worry. By the time this airs, there'll be plenty of them in there. There'll be plenty of them in there.
And then I can hear you talking trash too now. Like, what you gonna do about it?
Right.
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying?
But Man Space Nation, I have good news and bad news.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You gotta go with bad news first, man.
Bad news is I just picked up the shipment of Desire from the Man Space.
Desire.
The women's perfume officially by the Man Space.
Yeah.
And after I made a quick announcement about it last week, it's been pre-ordered. I started getting messages about it. Every bottle has been claimed already.
Look at that. So we sold out pretty much.
Sold out already. And I didn't even get a chance to put it on the market.
That's just a testament to who you are, man.
So I will be working with our distributors to get more of Desire real soon. Unfortunately, it will be after the holidays now before I can get it.
Man,
get it out there.
What kind of stuff is that?
Yeah, I apologize, man.
Let's put it. I know the distributor is listening.
Mm-hmm.
Good sir, we need this sooner than later. Our listeners demand this.
Well, listeners, you're gonna have to wait till after the holiday. I apologize, man, Space Nation.
I tried. That's all I can say.
I can only do so much.
I tried.
But
it is what it is.
We will pick back up with Desire coming in January.
But we love the support. So thank you so much, community. We greatly appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you. Because, dude, if you don't put that pen down, I'm gonna jump through the screen. I'm just sitting here. See, I'm working on my triggers, but it's like I'm sitting there and I just hear. I'm just like, what the heck is he doing?
With my fingernails.
I'm like, good Lord.
Like I was clipping my fingernails. My bad.
Oh, Jesus.
I got OCD, man. I can't sit still.
Oh, my gosh. I'm like,
that's not OCD. That's ADHD. I need to take a pill.
Something. Because I'm just like, man, Space Nation, hearing these little clips in their ear. I'm just
that was only 3 times.
Come on now.
All right, I got 5 fingers, so it's probably like 10. But anyway, my bad.
Hey,
cleanliness is a good thing, man. I had to, take time.
So on that note, let's go to a break so we can regroup and he can finish his nails during the break.
You got to leave that in there too. So I can say you be.
So, Les.
Yes, sir.
This past Sunday, right? We were having a discussion at church, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a session before church. It's almost like Bible study, but it's more of a teaching class, right? And it comes into a little bit of a discussion. But the subject came up of I don't know how they got on it because I usually don't go to this part of the service, so I'm fessing up. I usually come in right after this is over, but I got there early and caught the tail end of the conversation and got to talking about dress code, right? And it was more or less about women coming into church and wearing things that are a little bit revealing. Not calling anybody out that was in the church, but just in general, just a general conversation, right?
Right.
And so it got into a discussion on whether or not is that a problem with the woman, or if she's comfortable, should she be able to wear what she want, or is it too distracting for these old men that I have to sit there and keep cutting their eyes over looking, right? And that's kind of the way I took it, right?
Yeah.
I'm interpreting everything, but that's kind of just the way I took this whole conversation, right? But going past the church, and taking it into the workplace, right?
Okay.
Do you feel that there is more of an issue with dress code, like women coming into work and looking like they just stepped out of a club? And I think you and I have been in corporate America, and I know that you've seen it just as much as I have.
Yeah, I have. I'm all about freedom.
Okay.
However, if there's a corporate policy, that policy should be followed.
Okay. If there is a policy in place, but if there is not a policy in place,
you set yourself up for failure, because then that is exactly what will happen. they will come in dressed however they want.
Right.
And see, some women will come in dressed certain ways because that is comfortable for them. Some will come in dressed certain ways because they want attention,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and some will come in dressed certain ways because they are just that person. They don't want that attention. They're not looking for that. So they come in dressed appropriately per se,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But let's just be real about it. Some of these younger women nowadays don't care. The society has placed this wear what you want to wear, do what you want to do on their shoulders, and that's exactly
Mhm.
what they're doing. Because we as men of any age should be able to control themselves.
True.
Should be. However, we know that's not
Do
exactly
you
true.
do you feel that it's more of an issue for women to see a woman dressed that way than it is for men?
Well, I would definitely say women.
Mhm.
It's a woman versus woman thing because the men like it. They ain't gonna complain.
They're not going to complain.
No, some
They
some
may
will.
they so
They-
some I don't think the men will complain. I think the men will be uncomfortable because they're, especially going back to the whole church thing,
yeah.
they're uncomfortable because their wives are sitting there. They want to look, they can't look. They can't look,
Yeah.
because their wives are sitting there. So there's more of an issue there. But going
Right,
into
right.
the office place, I don't think that there's, if it is, depending on the woman, if it is a very attractive woman, then they're not gonna, 99% of the time, a man is not gonna complain.
I don't
A
think
heterosexual male will not complain.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I don't care if she cute or ugly.
No, bro. I've seen some
Bro,
that were,
if she ugly, let's
if
just be
she's size
honest. And
16 dressing like she's a size 4,
now
that
that's different. That's different
that
from
is
what I was
different.
gonna say though.
Okay.
What I
You
was gonna
you you
say.
were looking at the facial features, but I was looking at it as a whole when I said, depending, right?
Yeah.
So if it is a heavy set woman, because I've seen that
That's not good.
where
That's not a good
they're
look.
they're wearing these leggings and it's looking like it's a golf ball walking down the hallway.
My favorite thing would say is grimace. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You got grimace walk. And God forbid, don't take this the wrong way, ladies. I am
Mhm.
not. I don't shame people for their size and their weight because I'm a big guy too. However, I will make fun of you regardless. So that's just because that's my nature, unfortunately. However, if you a size 16 and you're trying to squeeze into a size 10, then that's a problem. That's more than a clothing problem. I think that's a self-esteem type issue because you want some attention.
So
And you
so
about to
hold
get
on.
it. You about to get all the attention you want.
So I'm a relay it back to church for a minute because this is what one young lady brought up, right? She said when she first started going to the church, she didn't have money like
To
that,
purchase,
right?
right?
She didn't have the money to sit there and buy all these new clothes just to go. So she wore what she normally wore the
Right.
first when she started going. So if people had a problem with it, it wasn't the fact that she wanted. She wasn't coming for anybody
Just
there,
coming as you are, as
right?
a lot of churches say, come as you are.
There's a lot of different meanings of "come as you are," right? A lot of people take it as, okay, I can come straight in off the street, come as you are,
True.
but or
True.
they look at it as the mental, the spiritual, the other side of you, come as you are, bring your unclean spirit in,
Yeah.
and let us clean your spirit, let us clean your soul, let us, not, they're not looking at it as the fleshly side of you. They're looking at it as the inside of you. You come as you are that way, right?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I've never heard that portion of it. It's always, well, once you make a mistake, you try to make an excuse not to go.
Right.
It's well, just come as you are. Come with what you have.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I've ever heard it was about the dress versus the spirit, the mental portion of it,
right?
The spiritual portion of it. That's a good spin. I appreciate that,
because it's not so much. Only certain people care about what you are on the outside, right? When you're in, especially when you're coming into a church, they're more concerned about what's on the inside of you, right?
That's it, brother. Preach.
Don't stop.
I should have just let you keep going. You was right there. You was getting ready. You knocking on the door,
Pastor. But let's roll this back over to the office place. Right?
Yeah.
So you've been in upper level of management. I've been in management.
Yeah.
And when I've gotten complaints about the way people dress, it's usually another woman who complains about a way a woman dresses.
Yeah.
And it's usually a woman who might be a little older, might be a little bit more intimidated by this younger woman who is very attractive, who's getting all of the attention. Because typically a woman who dresses a certain way is going to get a lot of male attention. Might be good, might be bad attention, but they're going to get the attention.
But that's what they're doing for, to get.
But
not all of them.
But the way I see it is, it's like this, right? If a woman is attractive, she can be covered up to her neck and wearing the baggiest of baggy. But if she's pretty, she's still going to get the attention.
Pretty in the face.
Yes.
Because that's all you see.
Yeah.
Well, it really comes down to.
What do we have to take this to Saudi Arabia and have them covered up to the eyes? Of the girl, look at them eyes, boy.
Did you see that unibrow? Woo!
Oh, too far.
That's why we.
Oh, too far.
But for real though, let's just be honest about it. A lot of women dress the way they feel, right?
Yeah.
And if she wants to dress a little sexy, and that's what makes her feel good, have at it, boo. Have at it. Regardless of your size, just be appropriate in what you're doing. There's not a whole lot that I could say about that. You know what I mean? Being in corporate America, if there is a dress code, it needs to be followed. Simple and plain. If there's not, then you ask for these type of situations.
So flipping it back to the church side, do you feel that churches should have a dress code?
I feel that, how can I say this?
So why you thinking on that, right? I remember a young lady and I were having a conversation, and she felt like if you wore jeans to church, it was being disrespectful. Right?
Yeah. Which now has become more commonplace.
Yeah. Yeah, because I typically will wear jeans. I'm going to be comfortable. If I got to sit here for 2.5, 3 hours, I'm going to be comfortable.
Right.
I'm going to wear some all black tennis shoes.
Yeah. That's because that's because you have additional responsibilities as well. But if you're just
but even before that, I mean, I wore, so for me, right? I used go when I was in college, in my last year of high school. I worked at a hotel. And so when I got out of school, I took morning classes in college, and I worked 3 to 11 at the hotel. So it's not like hotels today where you walk in and check in, you see people behind the counter in t-shirts and polos. No, we wore suits.
Yeah.
Right. So I would have to go to work at 3:00 in the afternoon in Alabama in a suit in the summertime. Right. And my car did not have central air. I had a 1979 Mustang, my first car.
Oh, you had 240 AC.
Right.
Yeah, 2 windows down at 40 miles an hour.
That's it. And don't let there be traffic.
Oh,
because
God.
I'm getting to work and I'm in a complete sweat. So when I had the opportunity where I didn't have to wear a suit, I'm not going to wear one.
Yeah.
I don't like wearing them now. I have a closet full of ties. I don't like wearing them.
Yeah. See, I was raised much like you were. And going to church, you wore a suit. Suit pants, the button-up shirt, at least. That was the bare minimum. Right. I would still kind of be that way today. I believe, and this is my personal belief, and you know, I get it. I think we've gotten away from looking our best. You know, just like me. I haven't done anything this past week, but I haven't shaved all week. But I'm at home.
Right.
You know, I'm not going anywhere. If I was going somewhere, of course, I would have got a haircut and a shave. You know, but going to the grocery store,
yeah,
I could care less. You know what I mean? But some people wouldn't get caught dead going to the grocery store without a haircut or a shave.
Oh, yeah.
My wife has to put on clothes to go out. She just recently started to be like, I'll throw some sweats on and be like, let's go.
Right.
She like, you're not going nowhere with me like this.
Yeah.
Like, for what? I'm not going to sit down in a restaurant and you got on sneakers and shorts and a beat up t-shirt. I was like, wow, my money spent just like everybody else's do.
Yep. I agree with you right there. Yeah.
You know, but she won't do that. So you got Beauty and the Beast. I got Crocs on, you know, holes in my socks.
My wife's the same way.
Yeah.
But one of the things that my wife will say is that when she's out,
right,
and I'm not there, she is a representation of me, and the same thing with me as her. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
So I may run to the store in some shorts and some Crocs, or you know, but if I'm going to actually go somewhere,
I'll dress. Yeah,
I'll dress. Now I'm one. I don't like wearing my shirts in. I like to have my shirts untucked. I haven't tucked a shirt in at least 3 years. I do. You know, I don't like doing it. Even the times I have put on a suit in the last 3 years, I keep it buttoned so my shirt can stay out. I don't like tucking a shirt in.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
Because we have this discussion all of the time. Like I try to explain to my wife, certain shirts you purchase have to be tucked.
Yes.
Certain shirts. Then you have other shirts that don't need to be tucked. It's just like, well, why don't you have those? I was like, because I tuck my shirts. I was like, if I'm wearing jeans, nothing gets tucked. Right. But if I got on suit pants, I tuck a shirt. That's just the right way. I feel like it's the right way to do it.
I got on some casual pants right now, and my shirt, even though I'm in a button down, it's untucked. I went to work just like this with my shirt untucked. Sure did.
Well, if it's a straight bottom shirt, now we're getting into fashion. But if it's a straight bottom shirt, then I don't tuck it. But if it's the tails shirt, you know, it's got the
mine all untucked.
I tuck those in But everybody has their own thing.
I get into I hate having to get up, get down, get up, get down, and having to retuck and all this stuff. Nah, just leave it out. Just leave it out.
I'm a big belly daddy, so I leave enough room. You know what I'm saying? So when I stand up, it's good. When I sit down, I got a little extra breathing room.
Yeah, no, I ain't got time for all that.
Yeah, but going back to the church and office, real talk, it's just really about their comfortability. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. Now it's on the man to not stare and then not to be that
creepy,
that creep. Yeah, that gawker. You can't be that way.
This is one of the things that got brought up was like, if she's comfortable in what she's wearing, she's comfortable. She's happy. She's confident in what she's doing. Right. She's gotten dressed. She's looked in the mirror. She knows what she's got on. Right.
Right.
She's proud of your video froze.
Yeah, I know.
She's proud of the way she looks. Right.
Right.
If she's one of those that goes to the gym or she's paid money to have enhancements done or things like that, she's proud of the way she looks. Or maybe she's just just a naturally curvy woman. She's proud of the way she looks, right?
Yeah, and she wants to show that off.
It's not so much of her showing that off, but it's just that it's not her problem if somebody's husband has to cut his eyes over there. We have traveled into the future and continuing this discussion. So I went somewhere today, right? And I went into a store, went to check out, and the cashier had these long, fake fingernails, like long, like they look like ink pens were tied to her fingers, like. And she reached around the bottle that I had, and her fingernails came back on the other side when she reached around, right? It was like, so I'm looking at this, and to me, like, I was like, ugh, but the thing is, she's not trying to catch me, right? Because there are some guys that's going to love this.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's going to be their thing,
and she may have a man at home already who loves it.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It's the same thing with these eyelashes that are like 6 feet out there.
Bruh.
It ain't for me.
Listen, I'm all for people taking care of themselves and wanting to do things for themselves, what makes them feel better. But man, sometimes you get too far.
Yeah.
Fingernails past a half-inch long is probably just a little bit too long for me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like if you
I don't want you
there,
picking my food with no
absolutely
with no 3-4 inch
that
nails
part.
On.
When you got to sit there and do like this, and extend your finger back to touch your cell phone, your fingernails are probably too far.
Just a little bit, maybe. You just might want to fix that. Just
but
bring that on in.
At the same time, they're not trying to appeal to me or you. There's somebody out there that likes it, who's fine with it, right?
That's right.
So
That's right.
when
not something I'm gonna go after anyway. So,
right. So it's just when going back to the woman in the office, if she's dressed a certain way, if there is somebody who has a problem with it, it's not that person, it is a distraction to that person. That person is just offended that they're not getting the attention. It's
a possibility. It truly is.
Or is I'm not saying, let me correct it. It's not going to be offended. I would say jealous.
Jealous?
I would
That's a
say that there's
strong
some
word.
I would say that
That's
there's some jealousy in there.
okay. All right.
Now now, when you get into certain environments, there are busybodies in there, right? There are
Mm,
busybodies that wanna be inside your business, right? That's like
haters.
when I go to church, I don't talk.
Hmm.
I don't want people to know me, right?
Right. Right.
I don't want people in my business. I don't want to invite people over. I have a select few that I speak
Right.
to,
Right.
and that's
Right.
it.
Right.
Everybody else, they know my name. That's it. They
That's
know
it.
my name. They know my wife, but they don't. I don't let them in my business that way.
See, here's the thing though. Most people get the friendship thing really confused anyway. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Just because you're an acquaintance with somebody doesn't mean you're their friend,
Yes.
you know? And it doesn't mean I can be friendly, but I
Hmm.
am not your friend,
Yeah.
you know? And I think that's where a lot of people get this thing mixed up at is there's a huge difference in
Hmm.
this whole thing. I'm a cool guy. I think I'm a friendly person, and
Hmm.
people talk to me.
Yeah.
But everybody is not my friend. Everybody. I have very few people that I can call my friend. That I
Yeah.
would call at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they would
Hmm.
pick up.
Yeah.
Probably more than I would think that I have, but not as many as that I would return the same favor.
Right. Right. Right.
See what I mean? So it got to let go of all of that stuff. Listen, most people are in competition with you anyway, especially women. They're in
Hmm.
competition with each other at all times. You
And
know,
that's sad.
extremely.
That's sad. But a lot of times when you go to a church environment,
Hmm.
it's not a younger woman versus a younger woman.
It's a younger versus older.
It's an older woman who has more of an issue with
Okay,
a
yeah,
younger woman that may be dressing a certain way.
right, right. That's sad though,
Mhm,
because here you are, church mother,
mhm,
worried about this young girl.
mhm.
But why are you worried about the young girl?
Right.
Wow,
Mhm.
doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I was looking around the church during this discussion, right?
Hmm.
And I went back to a story my mother told me. So when Mama Russ got married to my dad,
Hmm.
they left Alabama, and my dad was in the military. So they left
Right.
Alabama. When my mother came home, she had an afro.
Mm.
My grandmother beat her and said, "You are not going to church with an afro."
Afro.
Right? Something just as simple as an afro was disrespectful in going to church at that time, right?
Yeah.
I looked around the church, there were several women who had afros
Mhm.
just this past weekend, right? Locks. We talked about locks, dreadlocks, and things like that. And that stuff was not professional in the workplace. You weren't going to church like that. Sure enough, we see people with it. People are fine with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But here's the thing.
They go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but according like hairstyles and stuff like that, a lot of them just became corporate attire
Right.
because businesses were getting sued
Hmm.
based on that.
There's a level to everything, right?
Absolutely.
There's a level of being disrespectful,
Right.
right?
Right.
And if I'm going into a workspace, or I'm going
Mhm.
into a a church with a shirt that says "Let's go Brandon," right? As to me, that's being disrespectful, right? If
Yeah.
a woman is going into a business, unless she works at Hooters or what's the other one? I can't think of the
Twin
other one.
Peaks
There
or
we go. That's
any
the
of the
one.
others. Yeah.
Right. And she shouldn't be going to work with her tatas hanging out, right?
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't. But unless that's the environment that they're supposed to be in, then fine. But if it's a corporate environment, or if it's a church environment, or if it's even at a school, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way, right?
Yeah. I agree. But
There's a
but
level of respect
mhm.
that needs to be held, a decorum that needs to
Yeah.
be held, right?
So I get it. I do. Some women just can't help it.
Some women can't. Some women
Some
can't,
women can't.
or they don't want to.
Well, I mean, okay. In my earlier years in life,
Mm-hmm.
we were all. I worked in a male dominant
Mm-hmm.
industry, right? There were
Right.
very few females outside of HR,
Mm-hmm.
secretaries, parts, ladies, stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm not going to mention the business, but there were a few ladies that would come in, and I don't care what pair of pants they had on. They had a figure that was optically pleasing,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't matter what, quite honestly, what the face looked like,
Right.
because the rest of it was optically pleasing.
Right.
People looked.
Do you
And
feel that that was a distraction on the job, right?
to a certain point, yeah. To a certain point, because it was
Was it
couldn't get these
distraction,
jokers.
or was it men being horn dogs? Because I know
Okay.
prior to me getting
Okay.
married, prior to me and Mrs. Russ ever getting involved with each other,
Mhm.
I remember being in a corporate environment, and there was a very attractive young lady that used to work on the other side of the hall from us. And
Mhm.
anytime she got up and walked from her desk, all of the guys on my side stood up. One would alert the other one. The little bird call. It's like the man on the boat throwing the hat in the air. You saw that hat
Right.
go up. Everybody
Everybody
stood up.
stood up.
And the guys would stand there and have a conversation, and they would slightly peek their eyes down the hall just to see what she was wearing today.
Yeah.
And it's not that she was dressing revealing. It's not. She wasn't anything like that. She had
They were being
optics
horn dogs.
that was, yes, she was optically pleasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work
that
wasn't
happens.
getting done, but it was
No.
guys being horn. It was guys being guys, right?
But here's the other thing is, but we got to stop making excuses for each other.
Right. And it's not, it was guys being guys, but at the same
Right.
time, it wasn't her fault. That
Not at all.
was the guy's issue, not her fault.
Yeah.
She's
No.
coming in to do her job. She is completely oblivious to the fact that
Now-
every man sitting on the other side of that building was all looking at her.
But now, if she'd have walked down there knowing what she was doing
Mm-hmm.
and walked through y'all aisle,
If she knew,
if she knew,
we'd have been even
I
happier.
I promise you, she did that.
We'd have been even happier.
Most women know that they have that type of type of aura, body, that effect. They know this already.
Yeah.
They know it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can't tell me that you wear something that is just a tad bit tighter than what you would normally wear. It's a tad bit more revealing. That's a tad bit more sexier than you normally are.
Mm-hmm.
That every man you work with will not. They will see it. They will notice it.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and going back to just this, men are visual people.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
I mean, what more can you say, or what more can you do about it? Men are visual people, right? And that is the gateway to the stimulus. Is through visuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's a very good point.
I'm not going to say that she's wrong. She knows what she's doing. I'm not going to say that men are wrong. Hell, I'm a man.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep pulling on this gray beard of mine, but I'm a man. So here it is. We are men. we're going to look, but there's a point of respect and disrespect.
Yes, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
There is a level of disrespect that comes from a man, regardless of what the woman has on, right?
Exactly.
If you can't sit there, I mean, how I talked earlier about listening to other podcasts, right?
Yeah.
One that I listened to, my man says it's a 3-second rule. You got 3 seconds to look, and then after that, you can't look anymore. And because he was referring to, he had a very attractive wife, right? But he worked with another guy, and his wife was in the public eye, and the guy would talk about how attractive his wife was. He's like, "Listen, bro, you got 3 seconds.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's
right?
it.
After 3 seconds, it becomes a little creepy.
It's a little gawkish.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you, what are you looking at?
You're right.
I'm not going to say, what are you looking at? I'm going to, what is you looking at? You know? And then you're going to be forced to answer me. Or you're going to bow and you're going to rotate your eyes and you're going to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one or two things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it.
I think that if there is a problem, whether it's at a church, whether it's at a job, whether it's that it should be within a company dress code, right?
I agree. If you have a problem with,
take it up to HR and have a dress code policy. You know, whether you're in a church environment, you take it up with the leadership and have them come up with a dress code policy. Because I'm like, at a lot of churches, they have certain Sundays where you have to wear certain colors. If you can sit there and enforce that, you can enforce the other stuff too. You can
enforce the other things. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
So if this is your standard, then you enforce that standard. If this is the way you want people to do, then you do it. But
then you're gonna have those people. Well, I thought this was, I'm coming here to listen to the word.
That's right. That's right. If I'm not comfortable in an environment like that, then I'm going to go somewhere where I feel comfortable. That doesn't mean that this place is a bad place. It just means that it's not the place for me.
It's not for me.
Right.
Exactly. I'm telling you, Rev, when you get your church.
And on that note, let's go to break. As we do each week, we like to close the show with just a little bit of inspiration. Les, I want to play just a little bit of audio for you. So,
okay.
Think about week 3 when you were watching from the sideline. You think about how much evolution and growth you've shown as a unit. How do you describe the development of this group throughout this year? Forget that question. I want to know about your emotion right now. What is this emotion, Jalen?
When the world gave up on me, I didn't give up on myself. And that's the biggest thing. My family uplifted me, my support system uplifted me. I never gave up to what my goal was. And to be able to be here with my brothers, it means the world to me.
When the world gave up on you, how did you persevere from there to here?
Keep the main thing. And the biggest thing was I had a purpose. And I had goals for myself. No matter what, I still wanted to achieve them.
So what is the goal right now?
First, I'm going to do my Jordan's win, but the biggest thing was we wanted to be here. We wanted to maximize every opportunity. So I'm just proud of the guys, and now we're SEC champions.
Congratulations. Enjoy this, Jalen.
now there's two sides of this, yes, roll tide. But anyway, the main point of this is when the world gave up on him. I was one of those. I was ready to write this team off. I was ready to write him off because I'm like, this guy can't throw. This guy can't play. This guy is it's just not working. Right. Week 3, this guy is a sophomore. He gets benched. You see him on the sideline with not one, but 2 other quarterbacks that Alabama is playing in his position. And you see him smiling. You see him being supportive. After every time one of the guys come off the field, he's one of the first ones to shake their hand, tell them good job. Whether it doesn't matter if they did terrible, which they did do terrible, but he was right there to congratulate those guys. Right? He kept his head up. He said when the world gave up on him, he didn't give up on himself.
That's right.
That is an important lesson for all of us. So many times people write you off because of the way you look, because of the way you dress, because of the way you talk, because of something that you may have done 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They wrote you off. But see, you have to be the one not to give up on yourself and keep moving forward.
Right.
Man Space Nation, keep moving forward. Don't
let nobody write your story for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't let nobody write your story for you.
That's right. You take your pen and you write your story. And don't sit there and click the tops during podcasts or cut fingernails.
On that note,
that's my line. On that note,
we out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Man Space updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at manspacenat1.
Until next time, Man Space Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out
of here.